जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। नमो देव्ये महादेव्ये शिवाये सततं नमः। नमः प्रकृत्यै भद्रायै नियताः प्रणताः स्मताम्। Today we shall discuss, or I shall tell you something about the power manifestations of the creation. Jiva is a part of this vast creation, Srishti. Srishti Antargata Jivaha. All the beings that exist in this nature, wherever they are, in the 14 lokas, in whatever state they are part and parcel of this universe as far as bodily existence is concerned. The whole universe is manifestation of Divine Mother, the Chit Shakti, Chaitanya and Chit Shakti. The Chit Shakti separates from the Chidatma, Chaitanya, and takes the form of this universe. It takes the form of this universe. In that jivas appear. So, it is power. It is Shakti. Shakti taking various forms and slowly undergoing various changes. It's Shakti. Every moment it is Shakti. It is grossifying. It is grossifying. It is becoming universe. And it is filled with beauty, peace, joy and all that. It is power. In that jivas appear. Jivas appear and participate in the karmic cycle according to their karmas. There is law of karma governing that. But everything, including every body, mind, intellect, mind, matter and life. Mind, matter and life is manifestation of Divine Mother in one way. And as the universe, independent of mind, matter and this one, she is the controller, governor. She is the solace for the jiva. She is the evolutionary process in their evolution back to home, from whence they came. They have to go back. And jiva has to understand and find oneness with this Divine Mother at every level. This is the intention of Devi worship in Shakta philosophy. Yantras are drawn, ghatas are kept, images are kept, trees, plants, certain things are seen as the manifestation of Divine Mother. They worship this. This is all to identify Jiva's relationship with Divine Mother. How we are one. Identity of Jiva and Divine Mother's relationship and oneness at every level, various level. I have got a mind and body. The mind and body is Divine Mother. Divine Mother has become this universe, whole universe. Mind is Divine Mother. My mind is Divine Mother. My thoughts are Divine Mother. My actions are Divine Mother. My feelings are Divine Mother. But I am not able to identify or separate it and identify myself with this bodily existence, mental existence, separating it from I don't perceive the Divine Mother because I have vision of partial, part. I leave the whole and take only part. I have become a part and left the whole. When I take the whole, I see, this is Divine Mother. Thakur again and again says, the 24 cosmic principles, Mother alone has become all this. What might be his realization? What he might have been seeing there? This aspect of Divine Mother, how it descends, stage by stage. What is meant by various names and aspects of Divine Mother? We shall see. Now, we know, we have seen in Vedansara also how the creation evolves and how it again dissolves back and enters into the absolute oneness with the absolute existence beyond time, space and causation, absolute existence, and again manifests as the universe, time, space, causation bound universe. Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya. Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya. Again and again it's going on that cycle. Just like we sleep every day and wake up. When we sleep, our body doesn't dissolve because it's a part of the universe, but we alone dissolve. When God withdraws, his body also, because he himself has become body, I myself have not become body. So I will not, when I sleep, I don't, my body, because body is different from me, I sleep alone, leaving the body. Suppose I am body also, then when I sleep, body also dissolves. In case of cosmic existence, God himself has become the universe also. And all jivas and power. When he sleeps, we all everything, matter, jivas, everything dissolve, like my mind and all dissolve. Everything dissolves in the absolute. Nothing is there. Ananta Sachidananda, absolute ocean of bliss and joy and absolute peace, eternity. That is what remains. Again, Jiva's karmas are dissolved. They want expression. So, the Divine Mother has, Chit Shakti has become one with the Chidatma. Only infinite Chaitanya alone exists, Sachidananda alone exists. From that, a part in that spaceless infinity, timeless eternity, in that the power which has dissolved. When you sleep, all your power, driving power, eating power, working power, all power dissolves in you when you sleep. Like that, the power which has taken the form of the universe becomes again power and dissolves in the infinite existence. There is only one non-dual existence. And after some time, a part of this infinite existence, timeless, part means don't compare with the part of the whole with respect to the space. It is spaceless existence, a part. Very difficult to conceive and understand. There, somewhere, something happens. The Shakti separates from the Chaitanya, Chit Shakti, and this separation. It's happening in the consciousness itself, Chaitanya itself. No time, no space, timeless existence, there is a separation. We can conceive separation only with respect to time and space. How the consciousness separates. In deep sleep you are, how you wake up from the deep sleep where nothing exists. What happens in the consciousness to separate and come out? In deep sleep you don't have anything, no knowledge, no, everything is absent. In that, how the separation takes place, and again you come to the waking state. We don't know. Because mind cannot reach there. How I sleep and enter into deep sleep, how I again wake up and come, I cannot know because mind cannot go there. It's beyond mind happening. Like that, we cannot understand, but it happens. Otherwise, there cannot be manifestation. This separation and movement is called paranada. Paranada. Then there is. And this paranada expands and then collapses into a point. This paranada expands and then collapses into one point. This is called bindu. Bindu. Paranada comes to bindu. And from bindu, aparanada comes out. This aparanada comes with time and space. There is change. There is change. The change is perceivable. Now the aparanada, when the aparanada is coming, Akasha, Vayu and all is about to come into, that bindu is most important. The Sri Chakra center is that bindu, from where the universe evolves and again collapses back. Just regularly, in a particular rhythm, it goes on. So that bindu is most important. Bindu Vasini, we might have heard. The Shakti. This is the most important part of the Shakti. In this, the whole universe is, what is this universe? So beautiful. Everything is beautiful. Take an atom. Look at the electronics revolving. Gold, iron, copper. How the electrons are rounding the proton. Beautiful. Anything you see, plant, trees, forest, hills, sky at night, everything is filled with beauty. Where is the mind to become one with the nature and perceive that beauty? This beauty which is going to unfold, with the beauty which is going to unfold, everything filled with beauty, filled with peace, joy, everywhere it is there, love. This unfoldment is already there in a compact way. In a very compact way. It is not only Sthula Jagat, Sukshma Jagat is there, Karana Jagat is there. If these Jagats are so beautiful, what about the transcendental? Atma Tattva, Brahma Tattva. So the manifested itself is so much beautiful. At all the three levels, Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti or Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Virat, Hiranyagarbha, Ishvara. At these levels, three levels. That's why they are called Tripura. And the whole thing, the condensed beauty of this world, condensed joy of this world, condensed peace of this world, like condensed milk. You can make any number of bottles of milk with the condensed milk. Like this, condensed love, beauty, peace, and bliss is called Mahatripura Sundari. From that, the Tripura, that all the beauty of the three Huras is stored in her. She is going to unfold it. So she is called Mahatripura Sundari. That Shakti which is going to give birth to this universe now. It's about to create. Then the Aparanada begins of creation. Nada, why do we use the term nada? It is a spandana in consciousness. ಚೈತನ್ಯದೊಳಗೆ ಆಗುವ ಸ್ಪಂದನಕ್ಕೆ ನಾದ ಅಂತೀವಿ. Nada is not in the physical, the sound nada is not nada. It must happen in the consciousness. The vibrations we have seen in the physical world, bang, flute, this, that, and these are not nadas. Nada happens in consciousness. Spandana is nada. He hears the nada. Omkara represents the nada. And all that is in the consciousness. That's why it's called Aparanada. That's called Paranada. Because the already Mahatripura Sundari has appeared to give birth to this universe. The universe is going to evolve. And the time and space just starts appearing. Immediately one eye comes there. The eye comes. The power which retains this eye is called Parameshwari. And this eye is called Parameshwara. Parameshwari. Rajarajeshwari. All right. If there are two more terms, Adya Shakti is there. Adya Shakti term is there. Rajarajeshwari term is there. Rajarajeshwari comes a little later when the creation is, she becomes Ragni, Maharagni. But here it is the Ishwaratva. The creation begins, there is a person. When we are just waking up from sleep, first what appears is I, then intellect, then mind, then senses, then body. First what appears is I. The moment this I appears at the cosmic level of creation, then the power with which he is endowed with that power, the power which gives him that eye of the universe, is Parameshwari. He is called Parameshwara. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Parameshwara in different aspects. I am not touching the Chaitanya aspect, I am touching the only power aspect, Divine Mother. I has come, Parameshwari has come, Parameshwari in the cosmic eye. The universe is about to come, it has not yet come. This creation is there stagnant, just it is going to come now. This stage, it has already left that and not become this. It's called Satyam Shivam Sundara. It is still Satyam, Shivam, it's auspicious and it's beautiful. It is, first is Mahatripura Sundari, before that is Paranada. First starting is Paranada, then Bindu, then Aparanada, then Mahatripura Sundari, then Satyam Shivam Sundaram, then the I appears, then Parameshwari appears. Parameshwari is that which maintains that. From there, the creation begins. Now, the whole thing, it's going to evolve now. The creation is going to begin. When the creation begins, it's beautiful like Lasya. Lasya is a dance done by the women. It's a beautiful. Tandava is done by men. Dance, Tandava. The reverse going, Pradaya is like Tandava. And Srishti is like Lasya. Beautiful. So, this aspect of creation which flows down into the whole universe little by little is called Lalita. The whole creation, Akashad, Vayu, Agni, Agnirapa, Adva, Prithvi, Prithibhyam, Oshadeya, Oshadebhyo, Annam, Annat Purushaha. One after the other creation is taking place. It's a beautiful sign to imagine for us. So this aspect of that Shakti is called Lalita. Lalita means playful girl. Lalita means is a playful girl. So that the Divine Mother is become a playful. What is happening there? She herself is getting converted into this universe. The Shakti itself is manifesting, taking the form of the universe. It is not Shakti doing something. It is Shakti becoming herself. It is considered as Yajna in the Purusha Sukta. Tasmad Yajnat Sarvautaha. It's a sacrifice. It is represented in the yantras by inverted triangles, intersecting each other. Two triangles. Srishti. It's sacrifice. Yajna. Mother is sacrificing herself. Whole. It's like Balidana. It is manifestation of her love. She is giving herself and becoming this universe and all beings. Lalita is where she is playfully becoming this universe. Once the universe comes, there is the Rajarajeshwari, Maheshwari, and these aspects. Next is Maheshwari. And now the Jivas appear. Now a power is holding the whole universe with all the children and all. Infinite beings, the material world, all Jivas have come back. Now she is called Jagadhatri. Jagadhatri. You see what are the terminologies we are using in Shakti? Very difficult to conceive. Then the next is Jiva must be done samrakshana, protection, love, caring, and making that Jiva to evolve back to the original state. Then the three Shaktis appear. Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati, together called Durga. One is Jagadhatri, one is Durga. Durga is sum total of these three powers: Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati. Jiva's maintenance, Jiva's everything what it wants, how it to take care, to make that Jiva, Sukha, Dukkha, Phala, and all this. One is maintenance power, one is knowledge giving, one is destructive power. What we have to destroy in us is avidya, ajnana. We will come to that a little later. This thought, let it not break. So this Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Saraswati appears in the bright colors of the Jiva to protect as a mother. Durga. Durga means a fort. It's protective force for the Jiva. And whatever Jiva wants, it's every bit of care, the law of karma working, everything is done by these three powers, Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Saraswati. That is the important part in our Durga Saptashati. Next, we see this is insufficient. Jiva is not able to reach that. It is not able to understand. These powers have to come down to the grand material level with body and help. The avatars come. No? Avatars come. And finally we see Sharda Devi has come in our times as the manifestation of this divine power. You will go, as you go, advance in your spiritual life, get rid of little by little raga, dvesha, desires, so many things, everything. When all inner dirt is gone, Nitanta Nirmala Swanta, when it becomes inner is pure, you will understand what is Sharda Devi, Holy Mother, whom Sri Ramakrishna worships as the Divine Mother. And she says, she is Sarada, she is Mahatripura Sundari. When we say, we cannot understand each aspect of Divine Mother, you can see it is related. At any level, if you see, from Chit Shakti to all aspects, you can see in this image. In Chennai Ashrama, when we were there, in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, there is the very common procedure of doing Sri Vidya Upasana. They keep the Sri Chakra. And invariably, whenever some problems comes in the house or somebody is sick, oh, Sri Chakra you have kept, that's why this has happened. This loss happened, this, that, people will start telling. Then they used to come to ashrama and talk to Tapasyaji Maharaj. Tapasyaji Maharaj told, they will come and, will you take the Sri Chakra and worship? In your mutt will you keep? We don't want to keep, we are afraid, we are afraid. Why? My son is not getting job. My daughter is not married. The people say, if you worship Sri Chakra, if there is any defect, these things will happen. So what to do? Then Tapasyaji told, are you afraid of Sri Chakra? Don't worry. Keep it in front of the Holy Mother, Sharda Devi. She is Saumya Devata. She is Shanta Devata. All powerful. The whole Sri Chakra, whatever you are worshipping, from Bindu to Sindhu, it is she. And she has come to bless the jivas. So without fear you can keep in front of, just keep a photo behind. Even if you give a drop of water, even if you give one flower once in a week, doesn't matter. If you love Sharda Devi, and do. It was, I could not, in those days, I thought he's trying to convince people, giving some solace and all. We cannot realize the truth so easily because we have intellect. When later on, as I pass through, you must enter the shrine, pray shrine inside. Holy Mother's relics are there. Go near it, you will understand how the heart dissolves. Mother, where are you? Where are you? It is not a small, ordinary shrine. Mother is living there. How carefully, how lovingly we have to do the worship. How much care we have to take every step to open the door, to enter inside the shrine. Everything needs that perception. We don't have spiritual sensitivity We have to develop the spiritual sensitivity to understand the greatness of. When Rama himself was alive, only 12 rishis could understand he is the God Supreme. All knew him by great man of, but Dasharatha's son. He's matchless human. He's superhuman. But God aspect never they could make out. 12 rishis knew that God is incarnated in the form of Rama. Now we accept without any, because traditionally we accept, not because of realizations. When Swamiji accepted Rama as Avatara, he saw Rama as Avatara. When he said Krishna is Avatara, he saw Krishna as Avatara. When he said Ramakrishna is Avatara, he saw how that vision he gets. The universe coming again and again and dissolving, and avatars coming and going, and same power manifesting as Sri Ramakrishna. When Sri Ramakrishna says, one who was born as Rama, one who was born as Krishna, is here in this now as Ramakrishna, not according to your Vedanta. When he said, what vision he must have got? The whole, from ancient times, the universes appearing and disappearing, God coming and again and again to save the universe, to give peace and joy for dharma samsthapana. Then he accepts. Karishye vachanam tava. Whatever you say, I will do. That acceptance lasts. One day later, Thakur leaves he wanted him to accept this. This was the last realization after Nirvikalpa. He gives up to the Nirvikalpa he brings and presents himself. Who am I? Now you understand. To understand Sri Ramakrishna, it is possible only after Nirvikalpa Samadhi. But all who have realized and reached, they will used to keep Pavari Baba in Thakur's time itself. Thakur's picture was there. Ramana Maharshi's room, no other picture, only Sri Ramakrishna's picture. Amrita Manji Mahisa, only Ramakrishna picture. Like that, whoever you see, Papa Ramdas, only Ramakrishna's picture. Trailing Swami, yes. All these people, because they know what is it, we can't know. An ant can never know the strength of an elephant. It thinks, I can make it dance. It can make dance, provided it enters the sound and bites there. Elephant will start jumping about. But it can never understand the strength of. We are so puny, we are so little, without any spiritual realizations, and then we can understand that Mahatripura Sundari Sri Sharda Vidya means what it means. It is for the Jiva's sake, because Jiva cannot reach there, that comes down. He gives the Ramanujacharya gives the example. No man can climb over the elephant. So, elephant, mouth, what does he do? Mouth cannot climb over elephant. So, he pricks it. Then elephant doing it will sit and keeps the trunk like this. He will step on the trunk and climb on it sits down. First it sits down, and this, after sitting also you cannot climb. Then he keeps the trunk like this. On the trunk he keeps the leg and then climbs on it. Then it stands up. This coming down of the elephant, Ramanujacharya calls as avatara. And holding on to the avatara, how does the jiva cross over the ocean of samsara? Another example he gives. There was one fly, it seems. Not fly, that gochdi, one insect, which will be on the cows, animals and all. Something like a lie. It was there. It wanted to cross it cannot enter the water also. It will die away. Fishes will eat otherwise, even if it can swim. So, what it does, one tiger will be there. Tiger wanted to jump on it. It will go and sit on the tiger, it seems. Tiger will jump and go away. After jumping that side, it will again get down and start walking. Like that, holding on to God, avatara, you can cross over the ocean of samsara. Avatara comes to take you to the other side, to give you solace, to give you peace. And that is what, that aspect of Holy Mother. And in Holy Mother's life, we see her giving assurances, various type of doing. And once, I don't remember, Mahapurush Maharaji or somebody tells one sadhaka of the Mutt and Mission alone itself, Dhiren Maharaj. I don't know whether Brahmananji told or anybody. Dhiren Maharaj was the last sevak of Mahapurush Maharaj at the time of death. We met him. Then he was told, I was not knowing anything. He was asked to talk to us brahmacharis in the training center by Atmasthananji and went away. Then he talked something. Then we felt interested in him. So when we get an opportunity, we will go and talk to him. He will be absolutely unassuming. He understands, he doesn't know anything. Doesn't look like highly educated or Shastra Padai and all, but pure and innocent. That makes us love and depend on him. We can feel ourselves immediately close to him. So he said, I did not know what is sadhu life. I did not know what is brahmachari life. I did not know what is God realization. I came here. They gave so much of love that I did not feel like going back to the world. Then I did not know any sadhana. But I knew there are a lot of imperfection and impurities in me because which I am not able to realize God. Days passed, weeks passed, months passed, years passed. All were experiencing something or the other. Direct disciples are there. But I was without anything. One day I went and one of the direct disciples, must be Brahmananji or somebody, I don't know. He went and held the feet and wept, it seems. Then Maharaj told 9 aspects of Holy Mother which in what way she has helped the others in our very eyes, in front of the eyes, sins which we cannot take while initiating a person. That mother has swallowed, which nobody can give ashraya to a jiva. She has given ashraya. See, Brahmananji Maharaj, suppose, telling these words after realization of God. What must be mother? And he goes on telling how she removes you, like holding a child and washing, she removes the dirt inside. All these aspects Brahmananji tells. And that's what I told you, Aghanashini. the destroyer of the sin. Once that initiation nobody wants to give, he sends to Holy Mother. Holy Mother sends it back to Belur Math. Again, that sin nobody is ready to take. Finally, Mother initiates him. Aganashini, Tapaharini, Doshadalini, Shokanashini, Mohanashini. These are destructive aspects. Then Aganashini, Tapaharini, Doshadalini. Last, Shantidani comes later. Doshadalini, then Mohanashini. Before that, Mohanashini, Shokanashini, Mohanashini, then Ashrayadayini. Ashrayadayini. After that, Premavarshini, Shantidayini, Anandadayini. These 9 aspects of Holy Mother. 9 aspects of Holy Mother. Sharda Devi. Anybody feeling themselves impure, those who feels they have done mistakes in life, for removing, getting all these benefits, whenever they come newly join Math and all, I ask them to do parikrama of Holy Mother, telling these 9 names. And these are viewed by the direct disciples in their before eyes, which they themselves, being realized souls, could not give to the jivas. So then he says, when I got this, I got back my life without knowing, like an escalator taking me to the higher levels without walking. I reached direct disciples' feet and started serving. And today I am at their feet as their servant, free from all doshas, free from all bondages. And I am breathing the fragrance of mukti. I am breathing the fragrance of mukti. This word Dhiren Maharaj told us, the last days of his life. So it is very nice. You just give me that. Aghanashini, Tapaharini, Doshadalini, Shokanashini, Mohanashini, Ashrayadayini, Premavarshini, Shantidayini, Anandadayini. It is Durga aspect, Navadurga like you can say, because Durga is the protective and enlightening and helping evolution of the jiva is Durga. And this is the Holy Mother's, one of the important aspects of Holy Mother. Why we surrender? Why Sri Ramakrishna brought her into the order of sannyasis and then presented it to the world. All right, for today. Today is Guru Purnima. My love and blessings to all of you. Niranjanam nityamanantarupam bhaktanukampa dhritaham vai Ishavataram parameshamidhyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namamaha.